From the beginning of our conversation, he advised that he wasn't going to come out alive.
A violent standoff that left 2 officers injured and the gunman dead. Plus, talking trash in Clinton over a growing garbage battle. And holy help, JPD calling for divine assistance after a rash of violence across the metro.
All right, high today, 89. That's with a weak cool front moving through, so it ended up being warmer. That's those dry conditions we have. All right, it will drop quickly. The temperature, that is. Soon as the sun goes down at 6:30, we will fall from the 80s to the 70s into the 60s. Be prepared for that cool down if you're headed out to the state fair. All right, I'll talk weather coming up.
All right, David, live at 5, a 6-hour SWAT team standoff left 1 man dead and 2 officers injured.
Yeah, Megan, police say that's just 1 round of shots that the suspect fired off. 31-year-old Rudolph Smith. It happened in Brookhaven. And as 16 WAPT's Hadass Brown reports, police say it all started with a 911 call.
Police keeping a close watch on the entrance to the Brookhaven apartments the morning after a suspect locked himself inside his apartment and started shooting. Police say it started shortly after 5 o'clock Monday when officers got the call that 31-year-old Rudolph Smith was making threats at his apartment. When Brookhaven PD got on scene, around 6, he started shooting at them through the door. That's when 1 officer got hit by debris.
We had debris from the door, you know, the little metal fragments from the door got on his face.
Police called in SWAT teams, and a standoff lasted until just before midnight when one of the officers shot Smith. But the shootout left a 2nd officer injured.
Now we had the commander from the SWAT team. He was in the armor vehicle, and glass got in his eye, but he's okay also.
Neighbors say Smith had just moved in 3 weeks ago, and they saw signs of trouble before the shooting. In Brookhaven, Hadass Brown, 16 WAPT News.
Once again, police say 31-year-old Rudolph Smith fired those shots from his Brookhaven apartment. It's located on Industrial Park Road. That's just off Union Street, which is a main drag in Brookhaven. Now to a cold case murder. Live at 5, a Madison County man faces murder charges in a case that happened over 45 years ago in Texas. El Paso detectives say 70-year-old Willie Johnson's DNA was found on the victim's fingernail clippings. Investigators say Johnson was serving in the Army when someone stabbed Doris Rivers at her Texas home. As far as a motive, police believe Johnson's killer, killed Rivers actually when she refused to date him. Well, a group of JPD chaplains say that people need to pray for JPD and their department. The group held a news conference on the front steps of police headquarters today. Now, they say crime is down and highlighted the areas that are seeing less crime.
You know, as of CompStat last Friday, we are 14 crimes less than 1,000 from the year before. So we're 1,000 crimes less than we were last year at this time. And that's because of a lot of prayer behind these officers.
Now, according to a September CompStat report posted actually on the Jackson Police Department's website, a total amount of crimes this year is 5,442. Last year, the city saw 6,427 crimes by the same time in September. Now, this brings us to our Facebook question of the day. Do you think the Jackson Police Department needs prayer? You can comment on our 16 WAPT News Facebook page. Well, Megan, a landfill fight in Clinton.
Tammy, Clinton city officials want to expand the landfill. 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons spoke to people who say they don't want the smell. He joins us live. Scott?
That's true. Operators at the Faircloth Rubbish Landfill here say they've been trying to expand this site for 5 years, but residents clearly dug in outside the fence trying to keep it from happening. Hinds County holding a public comment hearing today. It will decide, the county that is, if it will let the operators add another 29 acres to the operation that takes in demolition and construction debris. Residents say that would have a dramatic impact on the area that is closer to homes and churches than a landfill should be in the first place.
It was a sand pit. One day we started seeing trucks going in with garbage, you know. So it's very personal to me because it's where I live and it's my home. So.
I don't think if you knock door to door anywhere in Hinds County and ask people, do you want a landfill next door to you, get very many volunteers to say yes. Unfortunately, they are a necessary evil. We need landfills.
The county is taking public comments on this matter through October 26th. Opponents to the landfill expansion say they want the County Board of Supervisors to wait until next year to make a decision because that's when they expect 2 new Board of Supervisor members to be on that board. Live in Hinds County, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Some new video from a viewer tonight of a water main break. This break off Woodside Drive in Jackson. Officials say there are more than 20 breaks around the city right now, and crews are rushing to get all of them repaired.
These breaks have been identified on a priority basis, and that's based on the number of critical facilities and residents impacted. So we have a number that they're currently working and a number that they're scheduled to work.
Jackson City leaders issued a boil water notice in response to that rash of breaks, the latest in the Presidential Hill subdivision. The notice will be lifted after 2 days of clear tests. And the reservoir is having some water trouble of its own. 16 subdivisions are now under a boil water alert after a major line break on the Pelahatchie Bay system. Audubon Point, Glen Cove, Paradise Point, and others under that boil water alert until the city has 2 days of clean tests. If you'd like to see a full list of the areas affected, you can visit our website tonight at WAPT.com. 2 new burn bans today in Warren and Atala counties. Hinds County extended its burn ban. It includes all recreational burning. Officials say the extension is, of course, because of the severe drought. Hinds and Warren counties plan to end their burn bans the middle of next month. Burning in Atala County, that is suspended indefinitely. But bringing David in here now, it looks like we could possibly be getting closer to some relief and some rain.
Well, closer, yes, but still down the road. I'm thinking the end of next week. So that is down the road. Let me throw you some unbelievable stats at you today. The dew point, you know, I talk about the dew point. The lower the better. Today, the dew point is 29. That means the air is very dry. The lowest relative humidity this afternoon, 10%.
Wow.
Desert-like.
Yeah.
That's what a drought will do. Here's my forecast for the rest of the week. Fire danger increasing, and it is dangerous, and it's going to be high. There's no rain for the next 10 days. I'm thinking next Thursday or Friday we could see some substantial rain. It's been a while since I've said we could see substantial rain, so that is significant. But certainly heed the burn bans. I cannot stress enough, this is a dangerous situation. The fire danger will be extremely high.
Okay, David, thank you. A popular book by a presidential candidate is required reading for some local school kids, Tammy.
You said it, Megan. You're talking about Dr. Ben Carson's book, and it's being read right here in central Mississippi. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams joins me live in the newsroom, and I understand some kids are reading that book right now.
That's right, Tammy. Carson's autobiography, Gifted Hands, is about his rise from poverty in Detroit to prominence as a neurosurgeon. But Ben Carson is in the middle of a hot political race for the GOP nomination right now. This week we found out that it's required reading for 4th graders at Madison Station Elementary this year, and Jackson Public Schools have it on its summer reading list for 8th graders. People we talked to had split opinions on whether a book about one candidate should be required reading for middle schoolers.
You're putting politics in school. You're kind of forcing your kids to lean towards the Republican side because he's a Republican candidate.
It doesn't bother me. I think he's a great example of how to put your brain to use and work hard, and you can be whatever you want to be.
Madison County Superintendent says Carson's book has been on the required reading list for the past 5 years, and we've confirmed that it has been required reading for some schools across the country for more than a decade. The superintendent in Madison County, Tammy, tells us they did get one complaint from a parent about the book, but they were able to resolve that parent's complaints. Of course, Carson is getting a lot of attention because of his controversial views on gay rights and guns.
All right, Ross Adams, live for us in the newsroom. Thanks so much, Ross. And talking about politics, tonight is the first Democratic debate for presidential hopefuls. Aixa Diaz is live in our Washington newsroom. Aixa.
Tammy, only 5 Democrats compared to 15 Republicans are vying for this nomination, and tonight the underdogs are looking to stand out.